与此同时呢，据朝鲜时报报道，韩国的军队已经组建了一支斩首部队，目的就是在开战之后刺杀朝鲜领导人金正恩。那么军方的原计划是在2019年开始组建这支部队，但是现在看来可能已经等不到那个时间了，所以韩国方面加快了组建的步伐。其实呢，朝鲜不断试射飞弹呐，进行核试验呢，国际社会早就希望要尽快的解决这个潜在的威胁。有关对金正恩的斩首行动，早前不断有消息传出。在今年的10月初，英国的《每日星报》得到资深情报人士的消息，英国的陆军特种部队空降特勤队就准备建立一支任务小组，和美国的陆军三角洲部队还有韩国的精锐部队一起合作，在最近的几个月内对朝鲜执行改变政权的秘密行动。那么什么行动这么秘密，可以改变朝鲜的政权呢？消息人士说，英国军方的这个终极目的就是除掉金正恩，并且已经制定了可行的方案。那么金正恩一旦被杀或者是被捕，西方的国家就会立刻通过电视和广播通知朝鲜的民众，这个国家已经改朝换代了。消息人士表示呢，在执行这项暗杀行动之前，西方的盟国要对朝鲜发动大规模的网络战争，使它的这个预警系统完全瘫痪，然后再进行下一步的行动。会不会真的动手呢？还有10天的时间，我们拭目以待。好，感谢您关注新闻看点，再会。雷森提到这个情况，还是引起了那些为各种可能情况而制定军事计划的人们的注意。副国务卿戈德斯坦他就表示，蒂勒森是希望美中双方制定一个计划，以防万一。一旦朝鲜政权崩溃的时候，那么确保他的核武器会得到安全的处置，这样是任何一方都有义务为所有的可能做好准备的。那么据现任和前任的美国官员表示呢，夺取朝鲜的这个核武库的应急计划在近几年当中变得是越来越复杂，越来越难棘手，主要因为是朝鲜的武器库已经扩大了。那么朝鲜的这个目前它究竟有多少核武器呢？纽约时报引述美国不同的情报机构有各种猜测，大部分的机构估计朝鲜拥有15到30个核装置，但是负责保护朝鲜半岛驻军的国防情报局在今年估计这个数字可能会超过50。纽约时报表示，朝鲜对这些核武器已经采取了非常周密的措施进行隐藏。有一名美国高级军官在前不久就曾经表示，就算是有几十个核武器被控制或者是解除了，也不能完全确定朝鲜是不是还有更多的武器被藏了起来，甚至还有可能在金正恩军队那些幸存成员的控制当中。那么这样一来，如何处置这些核武器，速度就是一个至关重要的问题。兵家讲兵贵神速嘛，这也是美军一直在进行的针对控制朝鲜核武器的秘密演习。根据美国官员的表示，明年上半年美军还会进行更多的这种演习。那我们知道，即使在和平的时期找到那些武器，然后派安全拆卸的这个组织去拆除武器，并且把它们空运出朝鲜，这都是一项非常艰巨的任务。但是大家想一想，美国的计划是假设有3方来争夺朝鲜的武器和领土，那么这种复杂和难度可想而知。那么是哪3方来争夺呢？当然是中美韩这3方。乔治城大学的安全研究教授奥利亚娜他撰文指出，华盛顿的假设是，只要朝鲜的冲突涉及到美国的大规模军事行动，都会引发中共的重大军事干预。他认为，中共很可能会试图控制包括朝鲜核试验场在内的一些关键地区，因为那些试验场大多离中国边境只有100公里左右。正是有这种地理上的优势，所以他认为中共的军队很可能会比美军提前很久到达那里。好的，感谢您关注新闻看点，再会。
Kim Jong-un could be killed in just 15 minutes by a new missile developed by North Korea's neighbor South Korea. North Korea is at the mercy of Seoul after South Korea carried out a missile test that could potentially take out Kim Jong-un. Seoul stepped up its ability to fight back against North Korea during its first live-fire drill for an advanced air-launched cruise missile today. And South Korea's potentially deadly missile is equipped with stealth characteristics that will allow it to avoid radar detection as it speeds towards its targets. Seoul's defense ministry chief said the missile, manufactured by Germany's Taurus Systems, has a maximum range of 500 kilometers. The Taurus systems can bomb key nuclear sites in North Korea in just 15 minutes according to defense bosses. It puts Kim's life at risk with the tyrant known for visiting his regime's nuclear sites. The drill comes as tensions continue to escalate between North and South Korea over Kim's nuclear missile tests. South Korea has accelerated its efforts to ramp up military capabilities in the face of a torrent of nuclear weapons tests by North Korea.
Defense Updates has reached more than 150,000 subscribers. We're genuinely thankful to our viewers. You keep us going. We don't dilute your video watching experience in this channel with sponsored products. If you like what we're doing, kindly support us on Patreon. www.patreon.com/defenseupdates. The United States Secretary of State Rex Tillerson has said that the U.S. is ready to begin exploratory talks with North Korea without preconditions, but only after a period of quiet without new nuclear or missile tests. The Secretary of State's remarks appeared to mark a shift in State Department policy, which had previously required Pyongyang to show it was serious about giving up its nuclear arsenal before contacts could start. And the language was a long way from repeated comments by Donald Trump that such contacts are a waste of time. North Korea has not yet shown any intent on backing down. Earlier this week, it emerged that China is building a network of refugee camps along its 880-mile, that's 1,416-kilometer, border with North Korea in preparation for a potential exodus that could be unleashed by conflict or the collapse of Kim Jong-un's regime. This development indicates the increasing probability of clash. One of the options that the United States is looking at to counter North Korea's nuclear-tipped ballistic missiles is an experimental weapon called C.H.A.M.P. C.H.A.M.P stands for Counter Electronics High-Powered Microwave Advanced Missile Project. It uses bursts of microwave energy, an electromagnetic pulse, to disable electronic systems. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes why the US may use C.H.A.M.P to fry North Korea's missiles.
Number 5.
The idea would be to launch a cruise missile such as an AGM-86C, which is carried by the Boeing B-52, that's armed with a C.H.A.M.P warhead to disable Pyongyang's nuclear forces. C.H.A.M.P is like a super powerful microwave oven that can generate a concentrated beam of microwave energy. These high-powered microwave signals are very effective at disrupting and possibly disabling electronic circuits. Mary Lou Robinson, who heads the development of the weapons at the Air Force Research Laboratory, told NBC News. Missiles, bombs, etc. all have complex electronic circuits, so such an attack could actually disable them. The most important aspect is that it's not lethal for humans and will avoid human casualties. C.H.A.M.P is not yet ready for operational deployment, and it could take a little bit of time, but officials believe the weapon could be readied for a contingency operation within only a few days of an emergency. And indeed, the US Air Force has tested the weapon against simulated facilities that produce weapons of mass destruction.
Number 4.
The Boeing B-52 Stratofortress is an American long-range, subsonic, jet-powered strategic bomber. The B-52 was designed and built by Boeing, which has continued to provide support and upgrades. It's been operated by the United States Air Force, USAF, since the 1950s. Superior performance at high subsonic speeds and relatively low operating costs have kept the B-52 in service despite the advent of more advanced aircrafts, including the variable geometry B-1 Lancer and the stealth B-2 Spirit. B-52 are powered by Pratt & Whitney turbojet engines. The powerful engines also enable B-52 to carry up to 70,000 pounds, that's 32,000 kilograms, of weapons, and have a typical combat range of more than 8,800 miles, 14,080 kilometers, without aerial refueling. This makes the B-52 an ideal launch platform for an AGM-86C missile armed with C.H.A.M.P.
Number 3.
The AGM-86 is a subsonic air-launched cruise missile built by Boeing. This missile was developed to increase the effectiveness and survivability of the Boeing B-52 bomber, as the missile can be fired from standoff ranges. In combination, the missile dilutes an enemy's forces and complicates air defense of its territory. All variants of the AGM-86 missile are powered by a Williams F-107 turbofan jet engine that propels it at sustained subsonic speeds and can be launched from aircraft at both high and low altitudes. The missile deploys its folded wings, tail surfaces, and engine inlet after launch. Sophisticated guidance makes the missile very accurate. It has a range of 1,100 to 2,400 kilometers, depending on variant. This enables the B-52 to launch it far off from the target. A single B-52 can launch up to 20 of these missiles. Hence, an enemy force could have to counterattack more than one missile at a time, making defense against them costly and complicated. The enemy's defenses are further hampered by the missile's small size and low-altitude flight capability, which makes them difficult to detect on radar. North Korea has no air defense system which is capable of taking out this missile.
Number 2.
Though seemingly a silver bullet, with C.H.A.M.P there are certain disadvantages. 1. The weapons would have to fly exceedingly close to the North Korean missiles before detonating. 2. There is also the very real possibility that North Korean nuclear facilities are hardened against an EMP, just as American, Russian, and Chinese systems are. 3. If North Korea can detect the missile, it's likely they will try to shoot it down or respond as if it were a kinetic attack. North Korea won't know, if or when it detects the missiles, whether they're carrying C.H.A.M.P as opposed to a conventional or nuclear warhead. North Korea will see cruise missiles fly into the country and hear explosions. By the time they figure out they were less lethal HPM payloads, they will have already retaliated, so the situation will still escalate.
Number 1.
Keeping in view the limitations, C.H.A.M.P could be used by US in a scenario where it targets a specific missile site. But this could result in all-out war, just like it would with traditional options. In case of all-out preemptive strike by US, the C.H.A.M.P will certainly give way to tactical nukes or conventional weapons, as it will be essential to eliminate all of North Korea's nuclear weapons in one sweep, and C.H.A.M.P won't be suitable for that role. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.
U.S. sends hundreds of troops to destroy North Korea's nukes in Warrior Strike mission. Hundreds of U.S. troops have taken part in training to infiltrate and destroy North Korea's cache of nuclear weapons and missiles, according to military sources. Drills to destroy weapons of mass destruction possessed by North Korea were carried out by U.S. and South Korean forces earlier this week. From Tuesday to Friday, troops took part in the Warrior Strike exercise at Camp Stanley, north of South Korean capital Seoul. The drill was overseen by top military officials, including General Young Hyung-do, chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff, and Vincent K. Brooks, commander of U.S. Forces Korea. The drills took place ahead of December 17, the date former North Korea Supreme Leader Kim Jong-il died of a heart attack. North Korea experts believed his son and successor, Kim Jong-un, was planning to use the date to fire a nuclear-tipped missile dubbed the Judge Bird. Although the day passed without incident, the U.S. and South Korea is on high alert for further provocations from the totalitarian state. The communist nation stunned the world in July by successfully carrying out its first test of an intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM, that can reach the U.S. In the wake of that test, U.S. President Donald Trump threatened to totally destroy North Korea and unleash fire and fury if forced to do so. In a letter to military chiefs, U.S. Defense Secretary James Mattis suggested a ground invasion of North Korea is the only way to destroy its weapons.
I think we heard from the United States that they would stop military drills. No, they have another military exercise, and North Korea responded by launching another missile. You have to stop at a certain point. You have to stop this from spiraling. This is extremely dangerous, and we told the United States about this. Even if you suppose that the United States launched some kind of strike against North Korea.
Clear that all options remain on the table in the defense of our nation. But we do not seek, nor do we want, war with North Korea. As I said earlier this week, a sustained cessation of North Korea's threatening behavior must occur before talks can begin. North Korea must earn its way back to the table.
That was Secretary of State Rex Tillerson at the United Nations Security Council earlier today, calling on North Korea again to drop its nuclear ambitions and for our allies in the region to help contain that threat. This after Tillerson on Tuesday offered direct negotiations with North Korea if there was a pause in their missile testing. Meanwhile, Senator Lindsey Graham told The Atlantic this week there is a 70% chance President Trump would use the military option against North Korea if they conduct another nuclear test. They do that underground periodically. Those are not the missiles you see. That's an underground situation. Let's bring in John Bolton, former U.S. ambassador to the United Nations and a Fox News contributor. First of all, you know, I didn't miss the news this morning that the president and President Putin of Russia had been kind of exchanging some niceties back and forth. The same time you have Secretary Tillerson getting tough with China and Russia about North Korea. Bad cop, good cop?
Possibly. I think it's clear to everybody time is growing short here before the United States is going to have to confront a really unhappy binary choice. Either we live with nuclear weapons in the possession of North Korea, or we have to look at the military option. So I think that's what Lindsey Graham is foretelling a little bit. I'm not going to second-guess Lindsey on the odds, but the fact is it's greater than zero, which is what it was under Obama.
All right. You know, it's interesting today because as we look at where we are in terms of the testing that we're talking about, these are two different things than what we've seen. We're not talking about a ballistic missile. We mean those underground tests of nuclear testing. And, you know, Japan's foreign minister says They don't really want to meet with us. They don't want to talk about their nuclear program with us. That's not going to happen.
Well, that's why I was somewhat perplexed, I have to say, in the clip you just played of Secretary Tillerson
Yeah,
at the
where's he
Security
getting that
Council,
from?
still talking about negotiating. We've talked to North Korea for 25 years. You want to talk to him some more? Be my guest. It's not going to have any
But
impact.
a one-on-one would be different than what we've done?
I don't think it would make any difference. In fact, if I were North Korea, I'd say, sure, I'd be happy to talk to the United States. You know why? Because then we'd sit there and do nothing while they cross the finish line and actually created deliverable nuclear weapons. So we're past the point where talking to North Korea is going to make any difference. Explaining to China and Russia that our threat of military force is serious may produce a response. There's no evidence, unfortunately, that it's happened yet. And so I think Americans just have to make up their minds. Are you happy with this?
Why do we keep going back and forth on North Korea? You know, one week we're not going to talk to them, the next week we are. I mean, is there a bifurcation of policy within the administration?
Well, I think the State Department is still on autopilot with the policy it's been for about 25 years, which has failed miserably, which is to keep talking to North Korea. And honestly, the president's been pretty clear, reflecting reality, that it's not going to work. North Korea is not going to be chit-chatted out of its nuclear program this close to actually getting a delivery capability.
Are you worried if it comes to the military?
Well, I'm very worried about both options, frankly. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff said this summer, asked a question at Aspen. He said, it's certainly something to consider to the use of military force. He said, what's unthinkable to me is leaving North Korea with nuclear weapons.